Hi, I am Beth from Crafty Carrick, also known as Crafty Room Confessions. I have both a website, www.craftroomconfessions.com. Also, I am most active on Facebook under the Craft Room Confessions. It's 3 separate words on Facebook and also on Instagram as well. So today I wanted to do my first tutorial, and this is on a rag wreath. So I have done several of these and had a lot of questions about how to do these, and I'm fluffing it a little bit as I pull it up. So this is one that I did. This blanket right here, this is a blanket that I got from the Dollar Tree. This is the blanket. And I used several of them on this. It takes more than one. These aren't super big, but they're super cute and came out just adorable. I think it would be a great wreath for a nursery, for a baby shower, or just if you really like the colors of the white and gray and pink. I like how soft and pretty it is. I added these embellishments of flowers that I had in my craft stash. You can make these fairly easy as well, but I just happened to have them from a D-stash page on Facebook that I had. So that's that one. And then I also had, let me show you another one. This is another one that I don't have the embellishments on it yet, but this is the same, basically the same blanket in different colors. This is also from Dollar Tree. This is this color. These blankets are actually made out of fleece. I can't tell if you can see that clear enough, but that's what blanket this is. I've been so lucky to be able to find these at Dollar Tree. Hopefully you can find them at yours as well, because it makes this a super inexpensive craft and super easy to do. This particular wreath, this is on a 14-inch wreath form. The one I'm going to work on today is actually on a 12-inch wreath form. I have it partway done just so you can see, and sorry, I'm gonna grab one separate so you can see. This is the one that I'm using for today. And then just real quick, I also had at Valentine's, they had at Dollar Tree these heart wreaths. So I did this heart wreath. I did a couple of them. One of them had a heart in the middle out of wood. It was super cute. And I used the little metal love words that they had there at Dollar Tree as well. So I had this one. This blanket on this one actually came from Dollar General. Like week before last, I was in Dollar General, and they actually have all of their blankets on half price. These are fleece blankets. They're much bigger than the Dollar Tree ones. So they were normally $5. They were marked down to $2.50. And I bought a bunch of them because they were a great deal, and they had so many different patterns. I can't wait to make more wreaths out of them. But just a couple places that you might get them. And like I said, this is fleece. These are fleece blankets, so you can find them a lot of different places. But the best deal, I think, are these Dollar Tree ones, or the ones that I found at Dollar General. I believe you can also get them fairly cheap at like Walmart or Target. So these are a great deal. But anyway, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, or show you how to make these because they're really, they're pretty simple to make, but it's very hard to put into a description. So it's much easier for me to just show you how I do these. So this is the one that I've started on. This blanket is also from Dollar Tree, and I am, sorry, pulling this down. This is this one, and it's so cute. It has all these little animals on it. It has the giraffes and the elephants. It's so cute. I do cut these into strips, so you won't really see the animals once we get started on it. But I think it will make a really cute, either if you were doing a shower or for a baby's room, maybe if it was a gender reveal, that would work too. But I also think that the colors are really good for spring or for Easter. So the wreath could really come out, especially with some embellishments on it, as a, you know, spring or Easter wreath. So this is kind of what it looks like once they're all cut into pieces. And I'm going to bring it up close to the camera so you can see. And this is just the wire wreath form that this is on. As you can see, this is the back of the wreath, but you can kind of see I have a little different technique. It's not just tied on there, but it is tied in a different way. It's not just one tier. I actually take 2 rings at a time when I do my strips on here. But first I want to show you how I cut these blankets. So these blankets have like a finish on them, a sewn edge. I actually cut that edge off first. I just like it better when it's without that edge, because otherwise it only shows up on some of your pieces. So I go ahead and actually cut that off all the way around. Let's That's what these little strips are here. So I just cut them all around the blanket. And I have done most of the cutting already just for the interest of time, but this is the last strip I'm going to cut. So you can see I basically do 1.5 inches wide, and then I cut the length of the blanket. And here's something that's super important. On these Dollar Tree blankets, they're stretchy one way and they're not stretchy the other way. So make sure when you're cutting the strips, you're cutting them long into the, like with the stretch, so that you'll have stretchy strips. They go a lot longer. If you're using a material, like you could use just a regular fabric, or, you know, or even ribbons with this, I would cut them a little bit longer than I'm doing, because these have stretch. The 7 inches is perfect. So I do 1.5 inches wide and 7 inches long. And I don't make these perfect. In the beginning, I would try to make them all even and everything, but it really does not matter. You can't really see it when you have the wreath together, so you don't really need to make sure they're perfect. So it's really not, doesn't have to all be. Like you can see they're a little wider in some places and even a little crooked. But I take the strip once I've cut the whole thing, and again, cut them so that it's long and stretchy this way. And then I just fold them in half. And then I cut at the half point, and then I'm going to cut them or fold them in half again, and then cut them again. And it turns out to be about 7 inches long. So I don't know if you can see that on my board, but that's just a little bit over 7 inches long. So that's how I cut my strips. And again, I'll just do one more so you can see. I fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. And again, they don't have to be perfect. I really wanted them to be in the beginning, but it's really not a big deal if they're not perfect. So now I'm going to show you how I do these on the ring, and I may have to bring the camera just a little bit closer, but we'll start from this end. I like to do the outer ring first and then the inner rings, and I do 2 at a time. So I go under 2 like this. And then I take the 2 ends, I even them out like this, and I take one with my finger, and so you have a little loop, and you just take the 2 tail ends, put them through, and pull it. And that's it. That's how you attach them. I do the same thing on the bottom ring, so I do the same on both sides. I am just going to snip this one because it was at the end of the blanket, so it's a little uneven on the end. So I'm going to cut that one a little bit, but same thing, you take underneath 2 of these. So you go in the middle of the wreath, underneath 2, open up the little ring there, and then pull the ends through. Super easy. It's really not hard to do, just hard to explain in words. So, or hard to explain writing it down. So I am doing this just so you can see, and then I pull it through. And it's so fun with these blankets with all the different colors, because you get such an array of colors over here. It's really kind of neat. But these are so much fun, and you can do so many things with these. For instance, on the other one, the blue one that I have some embellishments that I've gotten. Like, for instance, there's these little baby blocks from Dollar Tree. They say baby on them. I might attach these to it. Or I have this wooden elephant. This is from, I think it's Hobby Lobby. It says it's 87 cents on it. They have a bunch of different types of these things. Sometimes you can find them on sale as well. Or this is from Dollar Tree. It was actually from a garland for a baby shower. It would be really cute on maybe something in the middle, either just hanging down, or maybe put a piece of wood or some other embellishment in the middle. You can do so many things with these wreaths. That's what's so nice about them. And you could make this. It doesn't have to be for a baby shower. Again, you can't really see the wreath. It's just really the colors, to me, felt very baby showerish or boy room type style. But I do have one here behind me, and I've kind of started taking it apart because I had it together for Valentine's Day, with this little heart in the middle, so you can dangle anything. And I had picked up this at Hobby Lobby when Valentine's stuff was on sale for half price, and added that to the middle of it, but it's not exactly even anymore because I was pulling it apart. I also had added little, let's see if I can find some of them here, little hearts that I got. Also, actually, I think I got these at Michael's, but I had these like all around on the wreath for Valentine's Day, and then I took it off. I use this for Christmas as well. So this was a multi seasonal wreath that I used. I had just totally different decorations on it, so I made it so that I could take them on and off, which is really fun to do too, especially if you're on a tight budget. It's nice to be able to reuse your wreaths. So that's what that is back here. And sorry, my craft room's a bit of a that's what my craft room has on the walls. I know other people have cute, pretty stuff all over it. Mine has things that projects that need to be done is what mine has on its walls. Or sometimes my finished ones hang for a while until I either give them away or sell them, or depending on what I'm doing with them. So, so yeah. And at some point I will probably do some giveaways on some of the items that I've made. In case anyone's ever interested in that, I'll probably start doing that before too long, once we have some more followers and people paying attention to our Facebook page and interacting on our Facebook page. But my main thing today is really just to do this tutorial so that you could see how to make this rye wreath. It's almost done on the top part, and then I just have the little bottom part. And again, I'll just go back through these. These are stretchy. I fold them in half. They're so stretchy that now it's folded, but you fold them in half, and then under 2 rings, and then back through the top. You're really worth trying these. These are just so easy and so much fun. Just fold it under. My hands are getting tired, I guess. Fold it back through. And typically I go through and actually do all of the outside and then the inside. I just like to show this wreath. Plus I wanted to have part of it done. As you can see, it's taking me a long time. I'm already on almost 25 minutes of video here. I apologize for this taking so long, but I am just going to throw these in here so that you can see the finished product. I need to add a few more over here. I'll do this up in the air. Maybe that will be a little easier to see. These are so pretty and so much fun. Oops, just did that last one on the 1 rings. See, some people do this like just 1 ring, but then you've got to do all 4 of them for the most part, especially with this type of a blanket, because it stretches out and you would see the rings in between. But I recommend doing it this way. I just like the way, I think it does a more finished look. Plus it covers the back of your wreath as well. So, and then on the second part, I do same thing. I go in underneath the 2, see, from the middle of the wreath, and then underneath the 2, and then pull the tails back up through the wreath like that. Hopefully I think I do, I have enough cut strips. So this was 2 Dollar Tree blankets. Again, the 2 Dollar Tree blankets, the strips were cut 1.5 inches wide, 7 inches long, and they don't have to be exact. They can be, you know, a little bit, some might be just a little bit shorter or a little bit longer, and that's okay. They also may not be perfect on the edges. That's okay too. You don't really see that on these wreaths. So it's perfectly okay if they're not perfect, so you don't have to cut them exactly. I just basically cut at the bottom of the blanket and then just cut freehand the rest of it. So they are usually crooked strips, but they really don't, you can't tell it at all when you do the wreath. So that's kind of nice. Sometimes on some of my wreaths, they are a little long, or I cut, like I'll actually trim them up afterwards. And if you want, you can do that too if you like the look of the shorter one. And I can't remember if I showed the heart wreath. I think I did. But like in this one, I cut it really short because I wanted to be able to see the heart shape. So I had actually cut these super short after I had longer strips initially. But I think that for the most part, on this one, I'll be fine with the size of the strips. So we are almost done here. Let's see if you can see it. Under and then back up. And I'm going to see if I can get one a little closer while I do this one, so that you can see under. I can't tell if you can see it or not. under the 2 rings and then through the loop like that. All right, so I have some left still. And you can do, you can push them tight together, or you can down here. So you could actually probably fit in more if you wanted to. See how you can do that. But I usually do fairly wide ones. Now that I move that, it's gonna be hard to move it back. But I just love all the different colors that this has in it. See how pretty that is. And when you're done, you have to fluff. Sometimes the pieces have fallen back through. Like on this one, I can see them all on the back. Hello. I can be a little goofy sometimes. There we go. So and then I usually kind of do this to fluff it all up. And see, I like this inner ring right here. If you don't like that ring like that, you can actually, you just push these back through on the other side and kind of flip everything around. But I like them like this. I just really like that look of the little extra structure in the middle. But you can do them different ways. And if, like I said, if you like this shorter, then you can cut these shorter or longer, just make the strips a little longer. I have a few that were uneven that you can see that I'll probably go back and just shape up a little bit. Now I just need to decide what kind of embellishments I want, whether I want to put some bows on here. This is not a bow that's going to match this, but you know, you can just do like a big bow on. You can do flowers. Again, not necessarily this particular flower for this wreath, but flowers are always really cute on wreaths. These are not the ones matching it. I have some little felt flowers, which is nice because these fleece blankets are essentially felt. So the felt goes really well with these. It kind of has that soft look to them. And you can buy felt flowers or you can make them yourself. You get some of the craft stores sell them, or you can find them on Facebook pages. But that's another thing is, as I talked about some of the places that I get supplies, I really like to try and find them at a low cost. But if you search in Facebook groups, a lot of times there's people who de-stash their crafts and their craft products. So sometimes you can find really good deals through Facebook. You just have to be a little bit conscious of, you know, who you're buying from and a little bit careful, just like anything else online. But I have bought a lot of great things through people that were just either selling off their craft stashes, or they stopped doing something that they used to do. And I mean, it's really nice to get a great deal on supplies that way. So this has been long enough. I apologize for the length of this video, but this is the finished wreath as far as putting all the fluff stuff on it. I just need to do some embellishments. It would be fine by itself too, but I kind of like to decorate them up a little bit more than this. So this is this one, and I'll just show you again one that I did have the embellishments on. This is my pink one, and these are starting to flop around a little bit because I've been moving it around a lot, but this is one that I finished, and I like it in the way it has all the little flowers on it and everything. So just needs to be fluffed a little bit. So there you go. Thanks again for listening and for your patience. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, my webpage is www.craftroomconfessions.com. You can find me as Crafty Carrick as well. I have a Facebook page under Craft Room Confessions, 3 different words, and also an Instagram page. Thank you very much. Have a good night.